Wilson Fisk. Acre the Kingpin might be a man with a dream, and that dream might be crime. But please don't commit any crimes to get this figure. He's available on all the usual online retailers. So don't give up being a vigilante, and feel free to pick up this Gamerverse Kingpin, which can easily slot into your Marvel Legends comic display if you don't have a Kingpin of crime already. Of course, if you have the Shadow King head that came with Hoverchair Professor X, you can stick that head on this body if you have one of the previous Kingpin releases. Plenty of options? Now we just need a Maximum Series Daredevil. But that's probably a conversation for another time, and a controversial one at that, depending on how you feel about the Maximum Series pricing. But they say crime doesn't pay, but you will have to pay for crime to pick this guy up. So he's a decent Kingpin. What are your thoughts on him? Let me know in the comments below. Grab some snacks, sit back, relax, and let's get down to business in episode 55 of Flicks and Figs. And Kingpin has battled Spider-Man and the vigilante Daredevil in his time. And from Marvel to DC, some vigilantes in Gotham that dealt with crime and would probably give Kingpin a run for his money in a Marvel vs. DC crossover, The Court of Owls. Their Agent Talon and Nightwing are available in a 3-pack from McFarlane Toys if you want to recreate the battles in Gotham's streets in your toy photography. And from Nightwing and the Court of Owl, we go to Year 2 Batman, Adam Strange, and Deadshot. From McFarlane Toys, variants of these figures are coming up later in the video, as well as more from McFarlane Toys, so McFarlane shows no signs of slowing down yet, and good for him, as these look like some really nice additions to a McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. And from DC Multiverse to DC Mini Plastic Multiverse, as Tom gives us a look at the Mezco 112 Joker causing mayhem and carnage on the streets of Gotham. Hell needs an enema. Ooh, we got a live one here! And with the Joker wreaking this much havoc in Gotham with what looks like toxic chemicals from his carnation, Batman needs a suit that can withstand those toxins and poisons. Luckily, Final Suit Batman from McFarlane Toys is on hand to take on the Joker and any criminal elements from Gotham and lock them away in Arkham for safekeeping.
Thanks, Mark. Libby here, and I'll feel safer already visiting the streets of Gotham knowing Final Suit Batman is around and keeping things safe. And Final Suit Batman looks like a character from an anime, a big mech, or something like that. And speaking of anime, we go from the Caped Crusader to My Hero Academia. So My Hero Academia is an anime I'm aware of. I believe it's about a high school for superpowered students, and one of the main characters lacks superpowers, but is recognized for his potential as a hero by the greatest hero of all, All Might. So if you want to add Ochako to your collection, one of the good guy characters, details will be coming soon. And from My Hero Academia we go to Kamen Rider, and here we look at Kamen Rider Ryuki, in which the main character is a journalist who makes a pact with a dragon monster, and becomes Kamen Rider Ryuki. He enters a Kamen Rider war, in which the last warrior to survive will be granted their wish. Well, Peter Parker and Clark Kent, Kamen Rider knows how to take journalism to the next level. And talking of Peter Parker, we saw him as a teenager in early Spider-Man comics, and he grew up to be a journalist, just like Kamen Rider Ryuki. And speaking of teenagers, Dandadan main character Okarun is represented here in action figure form ready to battle aliens and UFOs whilst wearing his school uniform.
And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content. Thanks, Libby. And from Dandadan we go to some wham bam thank you ma'am. Loose Collector, Burning Hammer, Hannah and Lei Fang, whom has more than a passing resemblance to Jackie Chan in my opinion. Perhaps that's a coincidence, but I doubt it. These characters look like they will be quite fun. And if the quality is anything like the Rob Liefeld Extreme figures, we should be in for a treat. And I'll leave a link to my reviews for both Cabot and Bloodwolf in the comments below. And the Burning Hammer characters look like perfect tropes of martial arts experts, and many 90s fighting games had martial arts experts. Take King of Fighters for example, and Storm Arena will be giving us King of Fighters 98. I hope that means Terry Bogard. I also know Geese Howard, but I've been awaiting a Terry Bogard that can scale with my Jada Toys Street Fighter, and although there is a high-end version, it will be nice to get some affordable versions of these fighting game characters from Storm Arena. And I believe Tunchi Studios have done a few of the King of Fighters characters, but if you don't know your Omega Rugal from your Wolfgang Krauser, and believe it or not, there's two characters called Mr. Big and Heavy D, which makes this game sound like they threw in a few innuendos. Well, let's go from Heavy D to some Dragon Balls. Well, from Heavy Ds to Dragon Ball Zs. Here's Dayama Piccolo. And keeping it with anime from Dragon Ball Z back to Dandadan, we have Seiko, a lady with the name of Watch. She looks like Janine from Ghostbusters with a baseball bat. To me, she's a grandmother with spiritual powers who also goes by the name Santa. So if you want to build out your Dandadan collection, here you go.
And if Demon Slayer is more your thing over Dandandan, you can pick up Demon Slayer Kimestu, and he can join the Demon Slayer Corps to fight former humans turned into demons.
And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content.
And then from Demon Slayer to more animated style figures with Across the Spider-Verse from SH Figuarts, we get a look at Miles Morales. And keeping it with Marvel, we go from Miles Morales to Mark 6 Iron Man from the MCU. And Tony took Tom Holland Peter Parker under his wing in the MCU. And perhaps we'll see Miles Morales in the MCU at some point. But until then, we have his Across the Spider-Verse appearance.
And speaking of Spider-Man, X-Kokan Studio does whatever a spider can, spins a web any size, articulates great in 1/12 size. Here comes X-Kokan Studio. So this is a blank body, but it looks like a certain wall crawler. We have a Chun-Li style figure coming later in the video from X-Kokan Studio. But from X-Kokan Studio wall crawlers, let's have a look at Mafex Spider-Man 2099.
And here's a look at Mafex 2099 Spider-Man, Miguel in all his Mafex glory, and he's looking really good. As you would accept from Mafex. They always make the character so appealing, looking either like they have jumped right out of a comic book page, or very dynamic with paint apps, and of course great articulation. I'm sure Marvel Legends will give us an updated one, but for now this version is probably the one to beat. And Mikey Moonboots gives us a look at some classic Sinister Six Spider-Man villains, which your Mafex Spider-Man 2099 can take on if you have them in your collection, or classic 616 Spider-Man. You choose how you want to play out the battles in your collection.
And for all the latest Marvel Legends news and reviews, check out Dan Who Reviews, and also all these great YouTubers who cover action figure news and content, and these UK independent retailers where you can purchase and pre-order all the latest action figure goodness. And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content.
And we got a quick look at Super 7 Ultimates 2003 Turtles, and some DC McFarlane multiverse in between the shoutouts, and Jada Toys Frosty the Snowman, their first holiday-themed figure which Jada are working on to get out during the holiday season, and also some Jada Flintstones cereal mascots, which have had to be released in this format due to Warner Brothers having the license, and McFarlane Batman Year 2, Deadshot, and Adam Strange variants.
And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content.
And here we get a look at Robo at Toylanta 2025, which was going on at the same time as WonderCon. I wasn't actually aware WonderCon was on this weekend, but I've included some of the reveals here in the video, and Robo Don't Know was showcasing some of the animal warriors of the kingdom. I have a review of these on my channel, I'll leave a link in the comments below. Absolutely great figures, with all the standard articulation you would expect. And we saw AC toy design in a blink, and you'll miss it in the shoutout section. And AC is a big Star Wars fan. And let's look at Star Wars The Black Series now, with the Ronin, a character from the Star Wars Visions series, and his accompanying droid mech.
Thanks, Libby. I really enjoyed the Star Wars Visions series. It was a very anime take on the Star Wars mythos. And the Ronin was an excellent episode, where a Sith fought the Ronin who also had a red lightsaber. The episode was in black and white. And whilst this is faithful to the episode, and makes for a clever Japan Star Wars Celebration exclusive, It standouts a bit compared to the other Black Series figures in a collection as they are in colour. So if you want everything to have the same look in your Black Series collection, you might be disappointed.
And keeping it with Black Series, we take a look at the Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack, and of course Star Wars took place in a galaxy far, far away. And we go to the planet Eternia with Mondo for a look at their 200X He-Man, and Mondo has the power. And going from 200X He-Man to the Mythos of Mythic Legions, we get a better up-close look at the figures that come with that amazing dragon, which has now fully funded. You can probably use that dragon in a few displays. A stand-in Marvel Legends Fin Fang Foom comes to mind, and this certainly will be the centerpiece to any collection. And from Mythic Legions to the Frazetta Girls Death Dealer, and this guy can fit in a Conan collection, Masterverse, Mythic Legions, you name it. And from Death to Ghosts, we go over to the 1/12 Mondo Real Ghostbusters Winston Zedmore and Ghost. And we nearly have the 4 Ghostbusters, and they are gonna look so good all together. Yes, the prices could be better, but if you're an 80s cartoon Ghostbusters guy or gal, this is a must.
And from ghosts to monsters, from Ghostbusters to Operation Monster Force, we get a look at Chatsworth, and he looks very Chatsworthy. So let's talk about him. Presumably he's a good guy. A Bigfoot with a bandana and rows of bullets on his chest looks fun. And this line, honestly, can't put a foot wrong with the character selection. They are coming out as all bangers, and I'm here for it. And for more unusual good guys, Big Bad Workshop are giving us the first of their long box 1/12 heroes, The Tick. I can remember this as a cartoon in the 90s. It was on BBC Two here in the UK. I think it was a little ahead of its time because it's a satire take on superheroes, but it came out before the advent of the MCU, and when superheroes became mainstream, the animation was great. And it looks like the Rocketeer is next. Man, I hope we get a 1/12 Savage Dragon. That would be ace. For me, early Savage Dragon is like Hulk Ness Die Hard, a green-skinned super-powered alien who becomes a cop to battle supervillains for the Chicago Police Department. Who doesn't want a 1/12 action figure of that? And Savage Dragon had a special team-up issue with the Ninja Turtles, and from the Tick to the Turtles, we get another look at McFarlane Toys 2012 TMNT figures coming later this year, and again it's just another option for whatever style of TMNT in 1/12 scale you like. To think years ago we didn't even have any TMNT figures, and now we are spoilt. And next up we go from Turtles to Snakes, Lim Toys version 2, Venom Snake that is. And I'm really looking forward to this version of Venom Snake. I've always wanted Metal Gear Solid 1/12 scale figures. We saw McFarlane Turtles before, and McFarlane did Metal Gear Solid figures in the early 2000s. But they are really dated articulation-wise. And this is definitely something more my jam that I can fit in my collection with my G.I. Joe Classified, Operation Monster Force at a stretch, that sort of thing. Weapons on site, procurement Snake. This also makes me want a 1/12 Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. Anyone remember those series of Xbox games? Simon third-party companies. Sam Fisher in January 12th next. And from Lim Toys Solid Snake to 6-inch Gun Marauders. Here's the RoboSkull pilot in 6-inch. I have a few of these guys on pre-order, so I'll do a review once they come in. They should be due soon. They have been reworked and retwerked in the background. As you can see, they will fit in very nicely with Classified and that sort of thing. So stay tuned on the channel for an upcoming review.
Iron Here's Loose Collector is giving us his Rocketeer, Grendel and American Flag, and we've seen these before, but they should be some epic comic figures. And of course these are all comic characters, and they can hang out with your Marvel Legends. Or you could mix them in with some Jada Street Fighter for some Comic vs. Capcom displays, and even throw in some Marvel Legends to that mix. And speaking of Capcom, let's have a look at Jada Street Fighter figures Akuma, and E. Honda, as well as Balrog. Or M. Bison if you are from the land of the rising sun. So these should be with us in the near future. And Jun from Jada Toys advised in a few YouTube interviews with people that the full SF2 roster will be completed in 2026. Hadouken! And from official Street Fighter 2 action figures from Jada Toys, we go to Excocan Studios, who bring us their Quinn Lee, the long-lost distant relative of Chun-Li, from the same company, that is giving us a posable male body with a wall-crawling style. Spinning bird kick. So as you can see, she gets into all sorts of excellent poses. And of course, Street Fighter is a Capcom license. And 5K Toys are offering a re-release of the Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil by Lim Toys. And June from Jada Toys has unfortunately said Resident Evil is a property that probably won't be possible. So the third-party companies will have to grant us our Resident Evil Arca Biohazard fix. And then from third-party Resident Evil to third-party The Last of Us, one video game with monsters and creatures to another, this is the All That Remains 2-pack, which is ironic as this is all that remains of this episode of Flicks and Figs. So Not Joel and Ellie are available for pre-order on 5K Toys. Feel free to head on over there and pick up your copies.
Thanks, Libby. So you can pick these Lim Toys All That Remains versions of Jessie and Ellie if you want Mezco 112 style cloth goods characters, or you could pick up the Spin Masters 2-pack, which is true 1/12 scale, and will run a little shorter than other domestic lines like Marvel Legends. So that's it. That's all that remains. Hope you enjoyed episode 55 of Flicks and Figs, which was a mix of WonderCon, Toylanta, and general 6-inch action figure news. Until next time, enjoy those flicks and figs.